Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Bob here. Just a little quick video again for you today. I've got something new to show. So I thought, well, something that I haven't done before anyway. So I thought I would show it. This is going to be from this is TACP. It's going to be from my enchanter's viewpoint again. Yeah, I'm in the little rat section. There's 4 rats you can kill. Still in the hole. Thanks to Quell for showing me this part again. Yeah, there's just a little circuit of 4 mobs. I kind of find it at the moment. I kind of find it manageable. What should we get first? I think we could. I'm always never sure exactly which way to go round. I'm going to keep the video hopefully from my enchanter's point of view, so that you do get. Let's move over here, just so that you do get a a view of what's going on. It's quite interesting. I've been trying to find the best way to pull the mobs. I prefer to pull them because the pets do tons of push, so I prefer to pull them from this direction. So they come through this door. My pet gets aggro straight away. Shaman pet on. Weird. I've kind of found that if I put my shaman pet, if I put my shaman pet on the mob, what will happen is that the mob will run over and aggro my shaman. I'm not quite sure why that is. So I've tashed, now I'm slowing, and then once I've slowed, I'll kind of go in, and the mob kind of stays around at this point. If it's not against the wall, the pets just push it all over the shop. It's a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, there's just 4 rats here. This is basically what I've been doing. I'm level 51. Kind of getting up to near 52. I thought I'd kind of do. I've spoken to quite a few people in game now, and I thought I'd do a little follow-up feedback thing on sort of asking people if they moved to TACP and what they thought. It's interesting. Like I mean, did the slow go off or not? It did, didn't it? I'm pretty sure it did. It's interesting. Like I'm hoping to start like streaming, regular streaming, like twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, just to see how, it works out. What I normally do now is on the enchanter, as you can see, I'll start spamming root because it'll run away essentially, and root is a lot less reliable on here. The low line of spells is a lot better. I've barely had a resist. I think I've had 1 critical resist, but that might be it. Hardly any resists. I think we'll be alright now. Yeah, so they'll run towards they'll run towards the archway here pretty much all the time. They'll go up the stairs here. You get a couple of roaming mobs, and then there's like a room with some elementals and stuff. Yeah, but I kind of stay here. Anyway, yeah, I hope the view from the enchanter's point of view is still fairly interesting. I'll try and get in position so you can see what's going on. Lob. Let's have a little look. I think I'll probably calm these dudes again. And then we'll go around, and that'll be it. Now what I'll try and do here is, I do love it down here. It's so atmospheric. I love the grey brick stone kind of thing. Quite large slabs actually. I'm not sure that the I'll try and place my enchanter in a minute to a more sensible spot. Yeah, so for this one in the corner, I normally put it this way, and this is where things can get a bit tricky. Let's open the door. Come on. So try and get my pet hitting there. Now, I'm not sure if my health was low there, but yeah, that one did a ton of damage. So we'll do the same again. So I tash with the enchanter, slow with the shams. Then I go in, and we'll try and keep the pet around here. I think we'll try and keep the rat around here. I think the pets will probably push it that way. And I'll chuck some heals on. Let's have a look at the view. That's not a bad view from behind Auger there. Whacking stuff. Anyway, yeah. As I said, I came in this morning and I was going to kind of log into P99 and get stuff set up for like a stream thing I want to start. I ended up logging into TACP, and it's interesting, like talking to some of you guys who have come over and stuff. I mean, obviously, in this kind, I mean, first of all, I'm not saying that any one server is better than another. That's not why I'm here. I'm just giving my opinions as I've found them, essentially. You know, as things have as I've been playing more TACP. Let's move over here. You can see the fight. I'll need to start routing in a sec anyway. Yeah, like, you know, obviously things are split. People hate, some people hate lootling, some people like it, some people hate boxing, some people like it. Yeah, obviously there's never ever going to be a consensus, and there never should be, you know, because we all prefer what we prefer, and that's exactly how things should be. You know, he'll start running, but I think it's fine. If they get to 10% and route breaks, I'll normally let the, just a little page there. Nothing drastic. Yeah, you know, there's never going to be a consensus, and that's fine because we're all different. We all like different things. That's great. So this is just like opinions on kind of how I found things. Yeah, so my intention this morning was to get things ready to do some P99 streaming at some point. I just find it easier streaming on P99. I think. TACP, you're kind of worried about the chat and all that kind of stuff, and you've got 3 clients to deal with as well. I don't find it as easy to do. But yeah, but I think I think for me, like, I mean, I've been on P99 for like 9 years or something now. I can't remember exactly, but it's about that kind of length of time. And it's what most of the people who are on my channel are kind of there for, I would say, primarily. Obviously, there's like a percentage who, when I put a video up, you know, you guys kind of watch whatever it is I put up, and that's great. I better pull I think it's like 20 something minutes spawn, so I think I'll pull the other mob. I'm going to pull it for, I do prefer pulling. There's a little druid dude here, who, yeah, high level indifferent, and in this gate there, in that gated room there, I'm Auger, go back for God's sake. Yeah, in that gated room there, there is a higher level kind of like named rat who I think is probably a bit too high level for me at the moment. So yeah, I'll just get this mob under control and then I'll carry on with my, you know, interrupted, badly thought out waffling, which is generally how it works. Slowed. There we go. Yeah, and like I think like for P99, I mean, I kind of feel, and as I said, I'm not judging TACP or P99 here. This is just my own thoughts. But I kind of feel, I kind of find P99 just personally more of like a pure classic experience, I guess. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. This has got Luklin in. It's going to have the Planes of Power, I think, at some point. So people wouldn't necessarily class this as classic anyway, because most people just go for the vanilla up to Velius. And I also feel that just playing one character is more challenging. People would say more hardcore. People would say that's more how the game should be played. I don't know. I'm not going to judge that. You decide for yourself. But I think the thing I was kind of thinking about it yesterday, bearing in mind, like, you know, I'm a 50-year-old sick bloke, you know, so I understand first world problems. Sitting here thinking about a 20-year-old elf sim, but when you're in my situation, stuck at home for a lot of your time, yeah, just certain things become more important than they should do, and Everquest is one of those things. You know, it keeps me going. Let's just spam route. And I think we've probably cleared that, and then we just wait. There's a Roma, actually, which I killed before I... Look at the push the pets do. You'd thought root would just stop the pushing, wouldn't you? It really doesn't. There we go. Oh my haste worn off. Okay, then we can just sit around waiting for the sit around waiting for the other dude to spawn. What should we give you? Let's give you a nice view of the pets there while we wait for spawns. Yeah, so that's how I feel about it in general. Like I think P99 gives I think it does. You could argue, but for me, it gives a more classic experience, a more kind of pure classic experience. And I think you'd agree it's tougher as well. But I think the problem I have now is, and I was kind of thinking about it yesterday, it's that it's not. I don't even think it's a point for discussion. Like, I personally, in my situation, I can achieve a lot less on P99 than I can achieve on TACP. I think that's kind of what it comes down to. Because of when I play, because of my illness and all that kind of stuff, it all contributes to playing off peak. I mean, I logged into P99 yesterday. There was like 200 and something people on blue, which is very low. And when I was kind of, the character I logged into was in EC, so I logged into EC. There's 30 something people in EC, so immediately that's like less than 200 people. So yeah, and I have done my research. I would log in whenever I log in on blue. Or what I would do when I logged in on blue before. Is that I would look around for the guilds. I would check all the guilds, all the big guilds, to see how many are online and stuff. And it's even the biggest guilds, it's quite a small amount of people available. And so it just gets to a point where achieving stuff is it's just harder. And I think that what I normally find, I mean, like, my highest character I've ever got on P99 is 55. When I think more about why that is, it's not to do with like time, because I've got the time. It's not to do with the grind, because I enjoy the grind. Like, I've been sitting here now for days. Like my last 3 or 4 sessions, I've been sitting here, and it's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. So it's not the grind. It's just that 50. From 55 to 60, it does become like a proper grind. And I think to myself, well, what am I going to do at the end of it? Like, what are my goals? And that's not. And I'm not saying that. It's so annoying on YouTube and social media where you have to explain what you're saying because people take it out of context. But I'm not saying that there isn't anything for me to do at 60, whether it's an enchanter or a shaman. There's plenty to do, but I've been at it for so long now, and I've kind of reached that point where I want to do more. I want to achieve more, and some of those things. Recently, I've been watching quite a lot of raid videos on Everquest, like watching some level 1 undercon, watching some Wicked stuff. Go and see Wicked, WICKID. He's a Shadow Knight and stuff on P99. Enjoyed watching his raiding stuff, and I know that on P99 I'll probably never be able to get involved in that, just because of when I play, and that's not like a sob story. Worries me. That's just the reality of the situation. But then I kind of think back, and I think other things. So raiding's probably out. So let's look at other things that are achievable. So there's quite a lot of quests in Velius. You've got like the armor sets, for example. Like, are they achievable? Well, probably not really. I mean, I know that a lot of people like MQ that kind of stuff, and I think I can probably get the gems. Well, I know I can get gems for some of the stuff because I've farmed a few mobs in. I need to be careful because I haven't got a timer up. There's a little rat that wanders around. He's not up yet, I don't think. Yeah, so I know that I can farm some gems for that Velius armor turn-ins and stuff, but I'd have to MQ it, and that's fine. People say, well, that's what I have to do, and that's fine. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that or whatever, but like me personally, I'd like to be in a situation where I can do it myself, and it's just not, a lot of that stuff, a lot of those tarnished and corroded armor pieces, I think all of them you kind of probably need a group or raid or that kind of thing. And I'm not saying that I can necessarily achieve that here just with my trio, but I think the thing is that you only need 2 people to have a pretty good group. essentially, and then you can maybe go to those places and do that kind of stuff, because you're both free boxing, and to a certain extent. And so that becomes more accessible. Things like epics, I think, will be more accessible. I think the power level of your characters are going to be higher as well, because Lutelin's available. There's more high level equipment, and I don't really like Lutelin at all, really. Not from an item point of view, just from a zone point of view. But Lutein still gives me an advantage, because what I can do is I can use that more powerful gear to spend time in Kunark and Velius, where I like to do stuff. Doing more stuff, because my characters are essentially a bit more powerful. So that kind of works as well. Things like epics and stuff, I'm not sure about that. I mean, let's be honest, my chance to get an epic on P99 is a Shaman one is probably 0. At some point on TACP, I'm going to start a Shadow Knight, because I really like the look of Shadow Knights, particularly spending time in the hole. I like the lore kind of stuff that's down here, and so I might, my chance of getting a Shadow Knight epic on P99 is less than 0. And as I said before, just to be clear, I'm not moaning and giving you a sob story. That's just the reality of it, and so I kind of find myself thinking to myself, like this morning, like, why? P99, more classic experience, more challenging because you're solo, but for someone in my situation playing how I do, like why should I log in over TACP? What's the attraction? And I'm not sure. I mean, I even went as far as looking at. You can't see the rat. Sorry about that. Not a very good film director, obviously. But I even went as far as having a little look at the differences between TACP and P99. And obviously outside of the Lutein stuff and the Planes of Power stuff and whatnot, there are some differences. Like the lull line is much more reliable. Root seems a lot less reliable. I think the lull lines of spells, I think they said, was based on revamped, which were just generally better. But the day-to-day experience of playing it just feels the same. It doesn't feel different. Like when I played on even like live progression servers, it just feels very different. But these servers, this feels very similar to P99. So it's not like I feel that I'm missing out on the gameplay. And I know some people have said about TACP, boxing kind of trivialises stuff and it affects social aspect. Well, I have to be honest, I'm being completely honest here, I haven't found that at all. Like a few of you that spoke to me, two of you that spoke to me said that you was worried about the social aspect. You found people more sociable on TACP, more approachable for whatever strange reason. I have to say that, like, 50 levels of my levelling experience on TACP was in a duo with someone. It's only the last couple of levels that I've kind of done myself. So it's a weird one. I can't explain it. I'm not saying it's more sociable or there are more groups. There aren't more groups because there's just a lot less people. But I haven't found that to be a problem. And as far as trivialising it goes, well, I mean, it's no more trivial than being in a group with 3 people, really. It's harder probably because you've got to control all of the clients. But also, like, you still die. I mean, I still die. I don't not die. I've wiped in the hole 2 or 3 times now. If you get a root break and you've got 3 or 4 elementals on you, you're pretty much dead, I would say. Maybe someone who was better at controlling 3 clients and they quickly switched to their enchanter in time, might have survived that fight, but that wasn't me. So I haven't really found it trivialising stuff at all. And also the one down point I have found with TACP, and it has got less, I think it'll probably get less as it takes me longer to level the characters, is that I do feel more detached from the characters. I mentioned this before. I do still feel more detached from the characters than I do on P99. But I also think that will probably be alleviated by the fact that you can still just play one box, and like at level 60 there are certain, I'm going to do that to a certain extent, and that will also be easier for me if I fancy charming a bit on my enchanter solo. I've kind of got the advantage in that I can chuck some shaman buffs on him, and but still have that solo experience. So it's, as I said before, it's about situations. It's about the situation that you're in, and I would never tell anyone what's best and what's not best. That's not why we're here. But for someone in my position, it has just worked out to be, I wouldn't say better, more accessible. Like, I still play on P99. Because it does offer a slightly different experience, and it can be more challenging. And I do sometimes prefer that, like just one box thing, instead of controlling 3 clients. But yeah, it's what can I say? I know whatever I say will not convince you, but that's not why we're here. That's not why I'm here, as I said. I'm not here to convince anyone how they should play or what they should do. What I would say though, like the one thing that, and I know that like all content creators get this, the one thing I do find quite annoying is when people kind of get quite indignant and cross about what you're doing. And I'm not calling anyone out, referring to any comments that have been made on the TACP videos from anyone. It's, you don't like boxing, you say you don't like boxing, that's fine. But I do get some PMs, and I've had some comments in the past about not playing P99, and you kind of get this like entitlement thing where people feel that you should be playing what they want to watch. That can become quite annoying. Like even when you kind of point out, is that guy going to run? No. Even when you point out reasons that seem fairly valid, you still get people that don't like it. Sometimes people get quite indignant. Sometimes people get a bit rude. And I confess I'm not. If someone does it publicly on a video so everyone can see it, I'll call them out and rip them apart. Because that's that's just how I am sometimes. I'm not always a shy of retiring type, and that is one thing particularly that does really annoy me. But all I can say to those people is, well, I don't know what to say to those people. It's like maybe alter time for me so that when I play it's on peak, and then get me in your Uber guild and get me loads of stuff. That's what I've got to say to you people who, you minority who kind of get angry because I'm doing P99 or whatever. Do that. A few. Occasionally, a few people have occasionally said to me, I don't understand why you don't stream, because streamer privilege is a thing. Just stream. There's loads of. And I've seen it. I've probably seen about half a dozen people who have streamed in the past, like just to get their epic. Like they'll stream. Like some of them have even had like a bar up that says, like contributions toward Epic Fund or whatever. And I haven't done it because it just feels horrible. I just don't, like people have been generous to me on P99 before, and if I was streaming and someone said, "Oh, come and get an epic," then obviously I wouldn't say no. But I kind of feel a bit wrong about like dedicating your stream to that and stuff. But I've seen it before, and like you never see them again, so they'll stream till they get their epic, and then you literally never see them again. And I'm not like. I wouldn't really want to be that person. Tash, you're kidding. Give over. Tash pulls more hate than slow. There's another thing that's slightly different. Anyway, so where are we going to push him? Well, we're going to be pushing him towards this wall, and that's all right. I don't mind that. Let's move my shaman out of the way though, because so that's it really. That's all kind of, I'm not sure about that. A few people have said to me in the past, I can't believe, it's like, like a few people in the past also said to me, I can't believe that someone on your channel in all these years hasn't just gotten you an epic. And it's like, well, you know, these kind of things, the way I feel about these kind of things is it's not, like, I'd say 2 or 3 people in the past have said, like, I'm going to get you an epic, that's fine, don't worry about it, shame an epic, here we come. And it hasn't happened. And I think a lot of that is, a lot of things, people say stuff, you know, because they just want to say stuff. Some people are quite genuine when they say stuff, you know, that kind of thing. But I think the problem is with those kind of things is that it's not really just about one person, is it? So if you're a viewer or whatever, and you know, if you're a viewer and a friend of, you know, like Bertie the streamer, and you want to get him an epic and stuff, and you've got I don't know, you got a tier in the bank for an MQ or whatever. It's not just about you. I think that's the thing that people often miss. So you might think, oh well, yeah, I'm going to do this, but then, you know, where did you get the tier from? Is it a guild tier? You know, did your guild agree? You know, did your guild leaders and your guild members want you to just be chucking away tiers on someone they don't even know? You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, you have to be careful with that kind of thing, I think. Yeah, and I think as like the point that I'm trying to make, and I think the point that you guys have made, is that, you know, you're in a similar situation to me, and you know that you can just achieve more here, because you got that slight edge of, even if you want a solo, as I said before, you could just box up 3 characters to 60, and if you just want a solo as a shaman at 60 or an enchanter at 60, you can do that. But you've got other options. You know, if you want to solo crawler dungeons and enchanter, you can take your shaman with you just to keep you buffed and healed, and that's all you need to use the box for. You know, it's like, yeah, that's basically it. And that seems to be the thing that, yeah, that seems to be the point. Oops, let's go back. I wish I could name the bear. Yeah, but that's what I've found. That's what I've found. That's what I've found. And I would say the most common comment that you made about TACP, finding TACP, yeah, is that it just allows you to do more. It's not that it's better. You know, I mean, I think one of you said to me that you'd even probably prefer to play on P99, but yeah, but you're in a similar situation to me with regards to playing, and yeah, that's why you do it. Now, that's not to say that, as I said before, you can't do loads of stuff on P99 on your own. You can. You know, I know I'm friends with a number of you who only play solo. You know, we've spoken about that before. That's what you enjoy doing, and you do it on P99, and you just do what you can do on P99, and that's fine. But I kind of feel that I've reached that point where I want to achieve more of the slightly higher end stuff, and this allows me to, yeah, I think TACP just allows me to do that a bit more. But yeah, but I'll still be on P99. Don't fret, or maybe you don't care. That's probably that's probably more like it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying Everquest, whatever you're doing, because it's an amazing experience. Yeah, I can log into any of the servers and get a great experience, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching.